Good morning. This is Richard Peter, founder and pastor of Level 3 Ministries here in Dallas, Texas. It's Sunday, August the 23rd, in the year of my Lord and Master Jesus Christ, 2009. Let's be silent before God. Assist me in accurate listening, church. The solution to all addictions today is what the God who raised Jesus Christ from the dead, the God that indwells all of our individual consciousness, wishes to speak. There is not one of us, if we're perfectly honest, that doesn't deal with some sort of sin, sickness, disease, lack, or limitation, or addiction, whether it be to alcohol, to food, sex, whatever it may be. There's not one of us out there that hasn't struggled with this temptation. Let's be honest. Let's not kid each other. Christian Science attempts to deal with it by saying it's not real. Pain is not real, addictions are not real, death is not real, World War II actually never happened in reality. All of that's hogwash. It's simply stupid. Let's get rid of it now, and let's not ever make a statement like that again. These things are real in the sense that they do appear in time and space and cause suffering. Time and space is real as long as you're bound by time and space. Sin, sickness, disease, lack, and limitation are real as long as you are bound by these beliefs in human consciousness, as long as you're living in human consciousness. There's no way. They are real. They're absolutely real. There are examples of men that have been locked in storage closets that were at normal temperatures, but they believed that they were going to freeze to death. They woke up in the morning, their bodies as stiff as if they'd been in an actual freezer. The mind, when deceived, produces physical effects that result in oftentimes death. To look at sin, sickness, disease, lack, and limitation, addictions in any form, and to simply say they're not real, is an affront to the English language. Now, let me tell you why I say that. This belief that prescription drugs, doctors, surgery, eyeglasses, human methods that have in some cases been inspired by God have been used to relieve great suffering, that these things are not real and not necessary, is absolutely an affront. And we're going to get in trouble if we say these things with the Federal Drug Administration. They do work or they don't work, depending upon the degree of integrity that the scientists bring to the solution of the human problem. Remember, these two scientists are children of God, just as you and I. They approach the universe from the physical senses and they attempt to make sense out of it and deliver product that will act upon the human sense of existence and produce results. Let me give you a specific example. I suffer from time to time from a condition known as gout. The joint swells. It's very painful. You can't even put your foot down on the accelerator of your automobile to make it go, or it can swell up the index joint finger, the joint on the index finger, to the point where it's just excruciating. I was meditating all night long about God healing this, and the Spirit of God, just as clearly as I'm speaking to you, said, go to the medicine cabinet. I've already provided healing for it. Take the Indocin that the scientists, by my inspiration, have invented for this condition. I did, and the swelling went down. That is as much a miracle as if Jesus Christ had walked into the room and laid hands upon the sick finger. That is as much a miracle as Jesus rising from the dead. That is as much a miracle as this entire universe functions to bring about existence of consciousness that can be aware of God. Everything worked, including the destruction of the dinosaurs, the ice ages. All of this resulted in the evolution of a consciousness that is capable of worshiping and being aware of God, God consciousness. This is the greatest evidence of the existence of God, the fact that we are aware that He does exist in and through our own individual consciousness, appearing as perfect harmonious form when we don't entertain the belief in good and evil. Now that is the key that unlocks the door. If you don't understand the key to open up the locked door, the door will remain closed to you. Now, because you don't have the key, does this mean that sin, sickness, disease, lack, and limitation do not exist, that they're not real? No, they are very real. But in the sense that they can be changed, that they are impermanent, and that they can be changed when one has the understanding or the key that I've just given you, shows that they do disappear. They're real while they're appearing. Be honest with me. When you're suffering and in pain, I want you Christian Scientists particularly to pay attention to what I'm saying. When you're suffering and in pain, are you denying the reality of that pain that you feel? If so, you're intellectually dishonest. But if you rise high enough in consciousness, you can eliminate that pain in the sense that pain can be eliminated. Sin, sickness, disease, death, lack, limitation, addictions of any name or nature. The fact that they can be eliminated shows that the key is in the spirit, looking down through the mind and into the human condition and knowing that these things cannot exist in the presence of truth. Truth is real. Truth cannot be changed. 2 times 2 is 4, is 4, is 4. Joel has said that over and over again. Becoming aware of it solves the problem at the human level, each and every time. Now, if that solution takes the form of medication, or if that solution takes the form of surgery, or if that solution takes the form of you contacting a teacher of truth and asking him to pray with you, or if that form takes what you would call a human instrument, if that form takes a human instrument, does that make it any less spiritual? No, it doesn't. If you believe that it is less spiritual, then you're a victim and a committer of what's called original sin, the belief in 2 powers. There is only one universe. It is altogether spiritual. It is controlled by absolute truth, appearing through mind that is undivided, that does not let your mind and your eye be single, that your whole body may be filled with light. He doesn't say the body is not real. He says these particles of matter bow their knee and behave themselves in accordance with divine truth, divine science, divine perfection. But to say these particles don't exist is to deny their divinity. These particles coexist with the Spirit. They are correlative, okay? There is no time and space, so one didn't begin in absolute truth. When you're looking at the universe from the standpoint of before beginnings and endings, there is no time and space, so the particle and the consciousness are correlative. Eternally now, eternally the I that I am. But the particle exists because you can't have consciousness without something to observe on the outside of you. It is when the outside and the inside become one, without the interference of the human belief in good and evil, that perfection is achieved, and heaven, or another word for heaven, harmony, is achieved no matter what planet you may live on, even if it's planet hell. Now, does that mean that hell doesn't exist in the sense that people are suffering today on this planet? Yes, you go to certain parts of this world, and it is absolute hell. Genocide, poverty, children starving to death, diseases, flies on the eyes of infants. You don't turn your sight from that. Nor do you solve it by prayer and meditation. Sometimes you have to go spend some money and feed these people. Listen to me. The reality is that God is infinite truth and good, unchangeable in the sense that He is the only reality. He can't change. He's love. He's perfection. He's all-powerful, omniscient, everywhere present. Mind is the substance of all form. He operates with an infinite mind that does not entertain the belief in good and evil, and therefore body, or the third level, appears just as real as the Spirit who produced it, but created in the image and likeness of God without the distortion and the belief in good and evil. Well, that's a lot to digest. I suggest you listen to this tape. I intend to, because these were the words of God, and I'm going to be listening to them several times today. If you need my help in prayer and meditation, please call me at 1-877-365-0042. I'm available 24 hours.